welcome to the latest UK to Global series. This is for middle market business leaders, giving them insights into areas for international expansion. Today we're talking about the beautiful country that is Italy. I'm Richard Heap. I'm a client service partner based in London, and I co-head the Italian UK desk. I work with Francesco Lepri and his team, and I'd like to introduce you to him now.
Thank you very much, Richard. As you said, I'm Francesco Lepri and I work for RSM on the Italian side, supporting the business in the cross-border development in these two countries. I mean Italy, where I live currently, and the UK, where I've lived in the last 6 years, and I still spend a lot of my time here in London.
So Italy, it's the third largest economy in the EU. It's the 8th largest in the world and the 5th largest trading partner for the UK. GDP, I believe, is forecast to grow at 6% this year. Now, of course, Francesco, that hides some regional variations. Tell me more about those and tell me more about what you see happening with the economy in the next 12 months.
You're right, Richard. Italy is heading to an amazing end of 2021 after the pandemic. Finally, we have, after so many years, a strong government. Basically, all the parties in the parliament are supporting the Prime Minister, who is the previously head of a European bank. So he needs, for example, how to deal with investors and with bank, which is key for, let's say, the development of the countries in the next years. As you said, Italy, it's quite a complex and peculiar country. So you have differences between the north, which is very integrated, very modern, and the south that sometimes is a place where it's a bit more complex to do business because, I mean, just to be fair, sometimes English is not exactly a common second language. But let's say the entrepreneurs there are very good, very flexible, full of ideas, and you can find some amazing companies, like in the fashion, for example, Armand & Blaine, Marinella. So it's really a place with also economy is strong as well.
Thank you, Francesco. You mentioned some fashion names there. You know, when I think of Italy, I think of Ferraris, I think of Bonetti boats, I think of Colnago bicycles, I think of pasta, I think of pizza. Tell me, which are the sectors that are really strong in Italy, and which ones do you see developing over the next few years?
So let's say, first of all, that's a peculiarity is that many of these companies were firstly incorporated as family business, and usually they develop in some specific area that we call them district. So for example, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati are something like a few kilometers each other. You have in Florence amazing label like Gucci, Prada, Ferragamo, all together. Then obviously in the last years, then the traditional industries, you will find also some specific area like IT, where we have developed excellent company like Motork, like Money Farm, like Prima Assicurazioni. So we are more or less covering all the traditional sectors and also the new one.
One area where we've recently helped our client, Francesco, is in the renewables energy sector. Now, you and I both know that this is a particularly high growth, developing sector, I suspect because of the sunshine. Perhaps you could tell me a bit more as to why Italy is such an attractive place for a company like that.
Well, you are absolutely right, Richard. Italy has to move from fossil fuel to renewable energy also because we don't have fossil fuel, so it's quite easy. And we have a lot of sun. I think the irradiation is something like 3 times than in the UK. And this is one of the guidelines for our development because obviously we need energy and we need infrastructure. So I expect that there will be a load of room for investors in these areas.
Okay. That's interesting. Thank you, Francesco. You mentioned family structures there as part of businesses in Italy. Now, I know there are some specific things that are unique to Italy. Perhaps tell me some more about some of those.
Yeah, as I was saying, traditionally Italian companies are family business. Then a family business at a certain point they face a decision. They are able and they want to be global, so to reach all the market, or probably they start to struggle. So we have very famous companies like Barilla, Luxottica, Ferrari itself. They were able to go global. Others are struggling, and especially now, after the pandemic, they are in a big stress, if not close to bankruptcy, because when you want to go global, you need to have a proper strategy, a proper investment, funds, and not all have been able, or for a cultural reason, or not having the proper access to the funds to do this.
Okay. You mentioned funds and investment funds there. I understand there's an EU recovery fund that benefits Italy and the companies there.
Yeah, so basically this recovery fund is probably the proper support for this kind of internationalization that this company are looking for, because with this fund, which is a big amount of money, we are talking about hundreds of billions of euros that must be deployed in the next few years. And there are some streams, so mainly, the digital transformation. So a lot of investment in modern plant, machinery, equipment for companies. Opening up or let's say refurbish an existing factory is something that can be covered by government or public grant and loan. And as well, the research and development, because obviously the knowledge and also having very high skill employees is key for investors. And on this point, it's probably interesting to mention that in Italy, if you are a high skilled professional coming from abroad and want to settle there, you will be able to pay for around 10 years a very low amount of tax. And in some places, you will even be offered a house, let's say for free, where you can enjoy, let's say, the countryside, some coastal towns. So it's a way to attract high-skilled people to help investors to have defined the proper resourcing.
You're making Italy sound very, very interesting, actually. Perhaps I'll be moving over there. My final question to you. There are some talks going on, just started, between Italy and the UK, some post-Brexit investment fund talks. I think $38 billion worth of trade has been talked about. Where is that and where do you see that going?
So let's say, first of all, that also when the discussion was ongoing, a no Brexit conclusion of the negotiation was highly unpopular in Italy, because we are trader. We don't want to see a barrier in trading. So we will probably try as much as possible to overcome whatever kind of problem there could be, even if obviously there are some rules that we need to follow, being the European Union. And all of this trying to defend the Made in Italy, which is probably the biggest threat that we have as a country. But traditionally, Italian and Italy is very welcoming to British people, to tourists, maybe except for the European Championship final, but except for this, that 2 or 3 days, we have always been very friendly each other. And let me say that also the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of Italians in the UK, it's a sort of guarantee that trading deals will be always very common, because let's be frank, even outside the EU, London is still probably the best place to do deals in Europe. Thank
you very much, Francesco. So the very message that I take away is very much Italy is open for business. There are investment opportunities over into Italy, but just want to say thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.